I find this very interesting, folks. I've been looking at a lot of numbers lately in regards to what the youth is doing in the community, in different communities. We're not just talking about black, white, Asian, none. But in all of these communities, pretty much you have the major issues that they've had in the past. All of those things are down. We're talking about crime. We're talking about pregnancy, teen pregnancy. We're talking about school fights and bullying, although we have something new called cyberbullying. But all of this stuff is down. What I find interesting is that since all of this stuff is down, how in the hell do we still have such a huge problem in society today with behavior with the youth? And I'm questioning what is the direction of our society today. We don't have the respect that we used to have. We lack the respect. We lack, uh, especially manners, good manners. You have kids in school nowadays who don't really give a damn. Their grades haven't improved. So although you've had these things that have gone down, why haven't we haven't seen any better academics? Matter of fact, a lot of these things are getting worse when it comes to academics. But teen pregnancy is down. So this is what's not making sense to me. How is it that we have all of these things down, things like teen pregnancy and things, but our society and the communities are not getting any better? Can somebody help me figure that out? Because I'm really trying to wrap my mind around it. We have this thing called social media today that was not present when I was coming up as a teenager. And social media has allowed kids to do things that they weren't doing back in the day. For instance, sharing illicit pictures, although they say, this is what they say based off of surveys, teens are not getting it on like they used to get it on. They're not screwing. They're not screwing like their parents and grandparents were screwing. Teenagers are not doing that anymore. Somebody said the leader of our country doesn't have any respect. Okay, that's fair. But what does that have to do with what I'm talking about with the young folk, the teenagers? Because they're getting it from somewhere. Part of it, yes, they're getting from the internet, from social media, from other kids around them, but they're also getting it from the home. It's undeniable. You can't deny how much they're getting, their behavior, their ideas, the way that they talk, the way that they think. They're getting this from the home too. It's not just from outside world, from social media. We got too many parents just blaming shit, just blaming everything else. You blame everything but you as a parent. I would feel like I failed as a parent if my child was doing, like we've been covering these teen takeovers, my child involved in teen takeover. My child, have y'all seen this huge increase in OD, overdose, fentanyl? Huge problem. Teenagers, kids getting their hands on this stuff, ODing on this stuff. They're lacing this stuff in all kind of pills and different things. Somebody said, need jobs to be busy. Well, they have jobs, but they don't have the jobs like before. AI, all this stuff is changing everything. They're not going to have the hamburger stand at McDonald's. They're not going to have these type of jobs anymore. A lot of that stuff is going to disappear. And they're stuck in your hair as a parent. What are you going to do about it? Folks, anybody that's listening to this podcast right now, recording, can choose to hit the join link and come and speak to me about what I'm saying. All you have to do is join with the link that's in the chat room, in your respective chat rooms. But it is really troubling to me that we have such a problem with kids that lack the respect, they lack discipline. We're seeing a hell of a lot more kids and young folk, that teenagers that like each other, like, I mean, like the same sex as them. We're seeing a lot of problems when it comes to mental health, a lot of hollering and screaming and crying. I've made a lot of videos on this stuff. You got teenagers in the house having a complete mental breakdown, sometimes younger than a teen, complete mental breakdown because of everything that's going on with society. Then cap it off, got the worst relationship with the parent. Yeah, somebody said homeless. They're posting this stuff on social media. Something that we can't deny and say social media is a lie. They're homeless. They're out here homeless in the streets. But the statistics say that they're doing better than ever. The statistics say that the kids today are not getting in as much trouble, that the bullying has gone down, that they're not smoking and drinking like they were in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. What's going on? How is that see, I don't buy it. I don't buy that we live in a such I'm concerned about this stuff. Because if all of these numbers, these statistics held true, then we should see a better society and a better community. We shouldn't see the shit that we're seeing out here in these streets. Girls copying nasty thought hoes, tricks, wanting to dance like them and be like them. You got young men that are no longer there. A lot of them are copying the gang member and the drug dealer and stuff like that. They're in the pimp and all that shit. Now they're copying other behavior, disgusting same sex behavior. You know, they're and for me, I don't like it. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like what I'm seeing in this modern day era where the numbers show that they're more behaved. We suppose you can't fool my eyes. I'm supposed to think that the kids are doing better because they have less fights in school. I looked up the data. The data showed that significant less fights in school today than there were in the 70s and 80s and 90s. They're not fighting like they used to fight. But the mental health is cooked. Do me a favor, folks. If you're joining and you're in here right now, hit the like button and share this stream, share this content. Appreciate you in advance. Once again, this is just a recording of my up and coming podcast. I will be releasing, hopefully, I will release a podcast in the next week or two. I just had another meeting with my podcast manager, and that's what these recordings are for. Somebody said a lot of bad parents are not holding their kids accountable and caring about the kids' academics. They say today the kids, a lot of these teenagers and things, they're on the reading level of somebody that should be in elementary school, can barely do math. You got somebody that can barely read and do math. We can't even measure common sense. We can't even measure critical thinking. And although teen pregnancy is down, do you know that there's no age requirement to buy a Plan B? Did you know there's no age required? You can buy a Plan B at any age. Somebody said many of the teens on those teen trends are not from low income household. Was one by my house, the one that ran the officer over. Wow. You look at them firsthand out your window. They're not thugs. These teens had Teslas going out of Ubers and driving very nice vehicles, dressed expensive and not drunk. Wow. That's a great point. That's a great point, and that's deep. You got kids out here that are not coming from the worst impoverished areas. And we already know it doesn't make sense because how the hell you ain't got shit, ain't got no money? How the hell you gonna get to all these places that have all this money? It costs money to get to these places. Costs money to take a Uber to go to a downtown area, to some beach area or whatever, and to cause havoc and wreck the shit. They're not walking there. They damn sure ain't taking no city bus. They'll tear up the city bus. I believe they're taking Ubers. Somebody told me some of these mamas and things are driving these kids. They put them in the car. They drive the kid. They know that their kids is going out and getting ready to tear up something, and they drive them out there. Your own mama taking you somewhere so you can destroy downtown area or whatever else, some restaurants. That's what's going on, folks. Teen pregnancy is down because being gay is more popular and pride has taken over. Now that's deep right there. That's deep. Pride have taken over. They still bumping and grinding, but they bumping and doing stuff, all kind of debauchery on each other. Somebody say kids steal 50 cars a day out here. Out where? Where are you at? Where are you at? What city are you in? Somebody said kids are stealing 50 cars a day. You're enabled by your parents. They're giving these kids, listen, there are studies on this by you can look this up on YouTube, Google it. The prior Surgeon General of the United States. He said that a lot of these kids today, they're dealing with, and not just kids, adults too, they're dealing with loneliness epidemic. And he said he doesn't believe teenagers should have access to social media unless they're 16, 17 years old. Brother, he's in Oakland. My God. And I read your comment the other day in Oakland. He said they didn't already took away the Walmart and all those other stores. Of course. That's why I said it has me worried because the numbers, they trying to lie to us about these numbers that these kids are doing better. But if they're doing better, why are they getting rid of the Walgreens everywhere? A lot of these stores. Why are they shutting these stores down? Why are they getting rid of why are they getting rid of all of these things in our society if the kids are doing better? If they're not using all the substances and things, hell, they're locking up all kind of shit. You can't even get in some places. I think I saw some ice cream. They didn't put a lock on the ice cream. You can't even go into the store and get the ice cream out in some of these places. Can you imagine that? Corner store, you can't even get ice cream. Amber said, we need more male teachers in the school. You're not going to get more male teachers in the school. And if you get more male teachers in the school, guess which way they're going to swing. Just take a guess. Guess which way they're going to swing if you put more male teachers in the school. You think they're going to be straight? Be honest. Do you think they're going to be straight? If you put more male teachers in these schools today, look what's happening in any corporate office. The majority of your corporate offices out here, they don't have straight, a majority of straight people. You're seeing a mix now. I worked in one of these offices and I saw it. I said, man, it's not even, I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes. You don't know what some of these girls are. They be hanging out with each other, doing stuff. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of it be on the girls too. They be doing stuff, hanging out with each other, doing stuff in private, feeling on each other. I release content about what happened on Galentine's. It ain't just no Galentine's where they're doing this shit. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not just Galentine's Day where they feeling and doing, and it's they 15 deep, all in the house together, drinking and feeling on each other, licking and doing more than licking. You already know what I'm talking about. They're doing a lot of this stuff in all of these environments, and we don't have any structure anymore amongst the youth. When's the last time you've heard youth call you? Listen, I know a lot of my audience is over 35 years old. How many times have you gone out in public, have somebody called you yes, sir, no, sir? Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Speak to you, say hello, how are you doing? Hold a door open for you. Be respectful, look at you in the eye. If you're a man, shake your hand like a man. If you're a woman, help you with growth. They're not helping. I saw a video the other day, woman trying to push her car out the road. Nobody was help. Not even other women was trying to help her. She was struggling to push the car out the road. Really, I say that though, but they feel like I am calling them old. You know, there was a time and generation not that long ago where that was the common thing. When you talk to somebody older, you said yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You helped older folk with groceries and things. Help them get across the street. Brother said, people lost the sense of basic manners and humanity. Yeah, you don't have to call me sir. Well, what do you want to be called? If you don't want to be called sir, where would you want to be called? Somebody knowing your name and they're younger than you, why would you not want them to call you sir? You want to call you hey? You want to call you dude? Or the term that they're using today, everybody's calling everybody bruh. The women, the young girls call everybody bruh, and the young boys call everybody bruh. Come on, talk to me. Somebody said, ooh, that's deep. Somebody said now they robbing the old lady. She got an iPhone, they snatching that. Car, they can get in the car, they taking the car. It's not important. Okay, fine. If it's not important to you, then let them call you bruh and dude or bro or hoe. I don't know if you're a man or a woman. Just let them call you whatever. No, some of y'all women don't care anyway. You don't mind. Now, what kind of society is this? You don't mind if somebody younger than you call you hoe or bitch. Huh? What? What? That's why they don't care about calling each other that. Because y'all don't care if they call you that. I got women every day come in my comments on one of my social media platforms and say, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see that around me. And normally it's a BW. Normally it's a BW who says some shit like that to me. I don't know what you mean by that because I don't see that is not what I see in my neighborhood. I don't be seeing all that type of stuff. They not gonna know your name if how would they know your name, sir or ma'am, whatever you are? If it's a younger person and they just coming up to you, how would they know your name? Can't be that ignorant. Somebody said it's pathetic, but I hope they hire heterosexual men in the schools. Well, they can't discriminate. They can't say, well, we only want to hire heterosexual men. That's not gonna happen. They're not gonna be able to just hire heterosexual men. They're gonna hire them based off of the fact that, "Oh, you applied. Do you have the credentials?" And even if you don't, 'cause I question some of the listen, as bad and dumb as some of these kids is coming out, I question some of these teachers. How in the hell did you get hired? And I had a woman that came on podcast yesterday, and we was questioning her how she got hired. She got a speech disability and whatever she had. I think at least a speech disability. And this is who they're hiring to try to train and teach the younger generation. Yeah, somebody said Stud. Stud wants you to call. The whole society have gone backwards. Stud wanting to be called sir. Stud telling you she a man. Don't call her ma'am. What? And the boy want to be called sis or a hoe. What in the hell? But the numbers they're telling you, they're fooling y'all. They're telling us the kids are doing much better in all of these different aspects. They're so well behaved. They're not acting up in school anymore. No damn well y'all kids are getting suspended left and right. You know they're getting suspended out here. Hell, how in the hell you mean to tell me they're acting so good in school and in the home, but they tearing shit up on social media? Come on, talk to me. High schoolers don't know what suit means. Of course not. I ain't seen nobody in no suit. Somebody that they see in suit, they think is a politician. Uh, thank you, brother, for the donation. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know, somebody said ignorant. Yeah, very. A lot of this is coming from the parents. If the damn parents don't wake up and do something about it, what do you think is gonna happen with the kids? And they recorded everything. How you gonna get mad at me? Y'all recording everything. They record everything and post it. You can't get mad at me for reacting to it, for showing what's going on, because they're posting it. How does it feel to see your kids on social media? Some of the damn parents don't even know. 'Cause they don't be on social media. You might see your kid on social media because you've been watching my show. You've been watching my content. So you might see him on social media. Brother said he's glad he don't have I'm assuming that's a brother. BJ. Yeah, it's rough out here having kids. Sister said she does mind. No one in her circle calls her a B or a hoe. But it's becoming commonplace. I used to talk to my mother about this. I said, "Mom, what would have happened when you were coming up?" My mom's in her 60s. I said, "What would happen if you were coming up if even in high school or whatever, a woman, they was calling each other bitch or hoe, whatever called you?" She said, "We would fight. Those were fighting words." She said, "Not even your friends. And even have your friends calling you that. And now everybody have called each other that." Folks, I am concerned highly about what's going on with this new generation upcoming. Where y'all gonna be? What are y'all gonna do? You're going to age. No matter how old you are, you're gonna keep getting older. You're not going to be able to contend with these young folk. You're not gonna be able to do anything about it if they decide to take over some shit. If they decide to interrupt your meal, destroy a restaurant. Eventually, they gonna take it to other places, grocery stores. You're not gonna be able to shop in peace. Maybe they're not using the liquor and the drugs and stuff like they were before, but they're definitely finding other ways to cause terror. You're terrorized of somebody that's 15 years old. As soon as you buy them kids a phone, it's over. Majority of them have phones. Majority of them have phones that are unmonitored. And then at the same time, well, I want to give my kids some space. I want them to be able to. Okay, I understand that. You want them to be, you trust them to make the right decisions and the right choices. But how do you know one of their nudes is not going to end up on the internet somewhere? They're going to be enticed to pop some pills. They don't even know what the hell is in them pills. Happened to a friend of mine. His son popped something and took him off the face of this earth. He's gone now. Young man, gone. Folks, I appreciate you all for joining. I told you some of these episodes will be longer, some will be shorter. That was episode 2 I just wrapped up for the upcoming podcast. This episode was about the future of the United States of America. I want to make this a daily Monday through Friday thing. Sometimes I may do these podcast recordings on the weekends. These podcast recordings will be featured on my new podcast. I've already met with my podcast manager, coming out very soon, hopefully in the next week or two. It'll launch. All of these episodes, these prior episodes that I've recorded, you'll be able to listen to there. Thank you, everyone, for coming